Hi there, it's Scott. Well, I read all of your emails and discussions. I decide it's time to quit. Bye! No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke for all of you out there who said you wanted lots more funny skits. Funny, huh? Waka waka! Anyway, I've been thinking a lot. I got about 200 messages from you folks about what I've been doing with Board Games with Scott, and it really got me thinking about what's going on and helped me to make some decisions. And so I appreciate the time you spent in telling me what you liked and didn't like. It was really useful. I found that you liked the funny intros and you didn't like the funny intros, and you liked the rule explanations and you didn't like the rule explanations, and you liked the text on the screen and you didn't like the text on the screen, and you liked the close-ups and yeah, I didn't need to have all the close-ups. And so pretty much every aspect of the show, some people liked and some people hated. The one thing I found out that people liked that no one said they didn't like was at the end where I talk about if you're this kind of person, this is a game for you, or if you like this kind of game, this is a game for you. So it's pretty clear that was something that you wanted to hear, so I'll definitely keep that. I reflected back upon why I started Board Games with Scott, and even before I wrote the mission statement and said Board Games with Scott will help me do this, but before that, why did I ever even start it? And the main reason why I started Board Games with Scott was because I wanted to get good at doing this. I wanted to learn how to make videos. I wanted to understand video editing and practice it. And I knew from my years of working with computers that if you don't do something real, reading a book is not going to help you. So because I teach online, I like to create videos for my students. So I saw this as an opportunity to learn how to be better at that. And I've done that. And I think that I hit upon that's why I'm feeling burned out, is because I've solved it. It's easy for me. It's not a challenge for me to take a game, to read you the rules, to explain how to play the game, and take half an hour or so to teach you everything. That's something that's not hard for me anymore. And so for me, I then have to say, all right, if I'm not getting a challenge out of it, then what is it doing for me? Well, I'm not getting any money for it. Normally, when you get really good at something, then the idea is that you get paid, and so that's the exchange. And then there's the enthusiasm part. When I'm enthusiastic about a game, then I want to bring that to you, and that's my reward. So I realized, well, I certainly need to avoid doing any long Board Games with Scott episodes. That's not a game I'm enthusiastic about, really excited about, because that's what, if it's not learning how to do it and it's not making money, that's still a driver for me when there's some game I'm really excited about. So then I thought, well, okay, what else is there? And one thing I've been enjoying with the Scott Stuff series is trying to figure out how to compress, how to provide concise content. And sometimes I'm failing, sometimes I'm succeeding, but I'm learning and I'm exploring. And I realize that that's what is good for me. That is when I'm challenging myself, that's when I'm excited about it. So I've seen a lot of different styles of making videos, and so I'm going to be experimenting with Board Games with Scott. I'm going to be trying some new forms. I'm going to be doing most of the videos in the short form. Occasionally I'll do a long form video, but I'm going to try out some different things. So towards that end, I've been trying some things. A number of people suggested the 2-camera setup. So the first thing I did is I went and I borrowed one of these. This is a document camera. Teachers use it. I borrowed it to see, well, does this work? And you know what? It doesn't. I'll show you here. I took some video using this thing, and the quality is really bad. I couldn't see making videos using this quality. I would think the lighting is nice, but the quality and the moving image quality is horrific. I get a lot better quality out of a $250 video camera than I do out of a $1,000 document camera. So I started going online and I found some instructions on how to make your own document camera, because I thought, well, you know, what if I could just make a video camera and use it that way? And so I found a place that talked about what to order from B&H Audio and Video. So I've got some components. I'm going to be making this arm that holds the camera. And I've been looking for lights that will work that are not too glary. And so I'm playing with that. I'm going to play with the idea of having that camera available to me while I'm shooting. And then I'll have to figure out how to merge those two together. I've been looking at video switchers, but the problem is those cost about $1,000 for something to take video signals and for you to switch dynamically between two video signals. And so that's something I'm still puzzling with. I can film them both and edit them both later, but if I could do that live, if I could get the switch and move between the two video signals, that would save me a lot of time and trouble. So I'll throw that out as a question to you. If you've got some video experience out there, other than a $1,000 video switch, what would be some ways of switching between two video signals live while I'm presenting? So that's something I'm still exploring, but I like the idea of having a second camera pointing down while I talk to you on the first camera and switching between the two, because that would speed up this production. So other things I've thought about playing with, I've thought about trying to do a video for charge. A number of you, probably 25% of the responses were people that really still wanted to see that long format. So I think, well, all right, maybe I can get paid for it. So here's my thought: is I'm going to do it as an experiment. I'll take a game, I'll do the full treatment, the long review treatment. I'll put it up on iTunes and charge 99 cents for it for the first 6 months, and then I'll make it free. As an experiment, we'll see how that works out. I'm going to try that out because part of what I want to do with Board Games with Scott is experiment a little bit. A number of people, I had some ideas for a name change, but a lot of people said you really don't need to change the name. It's still Board Games with Scott. That's what you're doing. I will still do some long ones. I've got when Tulip Mania comes out, this is my own handmade prototype. When it comes out, whenever it comes out, I'll do a full video on that. And if a game really gets me excited, I'll do a full video. I'm going to be dipping back into some older games too, because I know there's a number of older games I still enjoy playing, and so I may be doing some of those. So the tone of always needing to focus on the newest games is something I'm going to be changing, and instead I'm going to be looking at games that I'm interested in talking about. Something else that I'm toying with and thinking about are negative reviews. So in Scott's stuff, I've done negative stuff. But what about in Board Games with Scott? I haven't done that before, but maybe I will, because I've gotten a lot of feedback of people who appreciate that I have this mixture in Scott's stuff of negative and and meh and bleh and oh yeah, reviews for games. So I'm going to be exploring that a little bit more. So I think that sums up what's going on. I'm going to do funny stuff when I feel like it. In the past, I felt I forced myself at times to do the funny intros because I felt there needed to be one, and they weren't always funny. So only when I have an idea, something that just grabs me and says, I want to do that, I'm going to do it. If not, I won't do a funny intro. I'll still talk about what's going on with the game in general and the big rules, if there's anything that's confusing and I can quickly address. I'll talk about the game flow, how it feels. I'll try to have the game set out to show you that, because some people commented that you couldn't pick up the game when you just heard me talk about it. You wanted to see something, so that's pretty important to you. I'm going to skip the detailed rule explanations most of the time, and then I'll go to focusing on who might like this game. If you're this type of gamer, you like this kind of thing. I'm also going to do more multi-game comparisons, because people said they really like that, like in the Prophecy video where I talked about things in 18xx. So I'll try to do more comparisons of multiple games and explore that. So you're going to see me explore. That's what I'm going to move forward with Board Games with Scott and explore. Most of the videos are going to be shorter. Occasionally I'll do a long one. Scott's stuff won't be too much on board games then. It'll be more on the other stuff that's going on in my life. I'm getting ready to teach a YouTube class and some of the stuff with libraries, and occasionally I'll talk about video games and things like that. But the content that I've been doing here, I'll do over there in Board Games with Scott. That'll be my plan. So I think that's enough of me rambling on about it. Again, thank you very much for talking to me and telling me about what your feelings were on the show. It was pretty cool to see so many people be willing to take the time to write fairly lengthy emails about what they had thought about the show, and that was really nice. It's going to take me a while to get this new format set up. I've got to buy some new tools and technology, try and figure out how to make this all work together. If you have ideas on how to switch between multiple streams of incoming video for something under $1,000, I'd like to hear that. But other than that, well, I'll see you on the other side. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, and I bet you can't wait till I do some of these. Look, I got Diamond Club, and I got the new Age of Steam. Oh, that's awesome. And Cities, you might have heard about that. And Timber Tom.